Maybe one day I'll become a good boxer, but not yet. You know, when he's moving, like always tough to get target. You know, when his target moving, like it's tough to get him. You know, like what him same thing. He's moving around always, and it's a little bit tough to get him.
Beterbiev versus Bivol rematch. Come on, that doesn't even need selling. Like if I need to sell that to you, then you're watching the wrong sport. If I need to really tell you why that fight needed to happen again, then you're watching the wrong sport. But again, like this being on that card, like you can remove this from that card. The card's already, oh my God, what a great card. Beterbiev Bivol on the card.
The long-awaited rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev is set to reignite boxing fans' passion. The first fight was a tactical masterpiece, with controversy over the decision leaving fans divided. Now, on February 22, 2025, these two light heavyweight titans will clash again, promising to settle the debate once and for all. Could this be the moment Dmitry Bivol cements his legacy?
He's a good fighter, like he's world champion that time, you know. He's a good fighter, like he's a good challenge for me. He has these different skills, like boxing skills.
Otto Ladipo perfectly summarized the stakes, stating, "This has to be the main event. The first fight was amazing, and people want to see this again. The anticipation surrounding this rematch is electric, and it's no surprise that fans are flocking to see if Bivol can avenge his controversial loss."
I mean, Daniel Dubois probably deserves to be the main event, doesn't he?
Nah. It's got to be Beterbiev Bivol. I mean, those two. You're talking two of the best light heavyweights of all time. The first fight was so good. It's all the belts, every single belt.
Paulie Malignaggi reflected on the first fight as a chess match of the highest order, with neither fighter breaking their disciplined approaches. He noted that Beterbiev's ability to potentially break Bivol could turn the tide, but he also acknowledged that Dimitri's hunger to win this time might make the difference.
But again, let me reiterate this though. Bivol, the fight was a chess match the first time around because Bivol didn't break. If Beterbiev can make Bivol break it any little bit, the way most of his opponents break, and Bivol starts losing positioning because he can't have the mental concentration, that fight opens up as well. That fight didn't open up the first time because neither guy was breaking position. It was a very, very disciplined fight at the highest level. Let me tell you how difficult that is to do at such a high level when you got guys setting barriers, traps, one guy who hits super, super hard, and all the other liabilities and nuances happening, and neither fighter breaks position. That was a very, very high IQ fight that I don't even know if words can really explain it.
Eddie Hearn openly sided with Bivol, stating that he believed Dmitry should have won the first fight. He expressed hope that this time Bivol will make it undeniable.
Bivol Beterbiev potentially in the makings for February 22nd alongside Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, there are and have been discussions with His Excellency for the rematch. Myself and Dmitry and Vadim Kornilov across negotiating. We'll let His Excellency make an official announcement if and when that gets signed and done. But there have been an approach regarding that fight for that date, but we'll see if it can get over the line. I mean, it's the only fight. You know, the first fight was not just a great fight, but I mean, if you don't want to call it controversial, you can call it extremely competitive. I mean, for me, Dmitry won that fight, and we need to try and put it right. But Beterbiev's a great fighter, and I think the rematch would be an epic event.
Paulie Malignaggi also admitted surprise at the decision favoring Beterbiev, echoing the sentiments of many fans who felt Bivol had done enough to win.
Beterbiev, for me, looked surprised that he won the fight. What I'm saying is neither guy was convinced that the result couldn't have been the other way around. You know, Beterbiev took the win, but when I got the decision, for me, he looked a little bit surprised that he got the decision. Bivol didn't complain about not getting the decision, but it feels like he could have got the decision, and most people think he could have got that decision. So
Chris Algieri highlighted the fan support for this rematch, saying, "Who wouldn't want to see the best fighters in the world go against each other again? This bout isn't just a rematch. It's a chance to right a perceived wrong."
The possibility of it being sparse, it's going to be sparse. This is what these cards are. But it's fine. The card is so good. The fights are so good. We've had other cards there that did not have crazy crowd support, but it's okay. They're good fights. I personally don't care. I like seeing good fights. I want to see the best guys in the world fight each other. If it has to be in an area like that where there's no drinking, there's no booze, there's no real big crowd support, it's fine. When I fought Manny Pacquiao, we fought in Macau. The crowd sat on their hands. It's just a different culture, and I don't think we should knock any of these cards or any of these matchups because they don't have that crazy background atmosphere. Listen, does it affect the fight? Sure. Does it affect the moment and what it feels like to be there? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, this is a sport, guys, and these guys should be able to fight in a closet and still perform because that's what we ask of our champions and our best fighters in the world.
Arthur Beterbiev has remained characteristically humble, yet confident in the lead-up to the rematch. Reflecting on the first fight, he admitted there were areas he could improve, saying, "After the fight, you see some things that could have been better." His self-awareness and commitment to growth underscore why he remains such a formidable champion.
Like, every time after fight you see some things like you want change, like, do better. We see it, but we see these things, but we try to do next time better. No, I'm not. I just prepared. I'm not expecting. I'm not thinking about what happened last time or what's gonna happen in the future. I just try to be ready, be better than I've been.
However, Beterbiev also acknowledged the challenges posed by Bivol, describing him as tough to land a punch on because he's always moving. This mutual respect between the fighters adds an intriguing dynamic to their rivalry, setting the stage for another tactical war.
When he's moving, like, always tough to get target. When his target moving, like, it's tough to get him. Like what him, same thing. He's moving around always, and it's a little bit tough to get him.
Roy Jones Jr. shared his belief that this time, Bivol is coming to win decisively. This fight will be even better because we expect Bivol to push for the KO, he said. Bivol's technical skills and movement were key in the first fight, and he'll need to elevate his game even further to overcome Beterbiev's relentless pressure.
It's going to be another good fight, extraordinary fight. The first one was a very extraordinary fight. You know what? I thought Bivol might have edged out early, but Beterbiev did come back good late. And both of them fought a little bit different than what they used to fight. So I think what the real thing was, we was expecting to see Arthur try to knock him out. Because it's Arthur 20-0 knockout. So when he didn't try to knock him out, it showed us that he had boxing skills too, but that ain't what we know him for. You know what I mean? So this time I'm hoping he'll go out and do what he did and box smart, but I'm hoping he'll look for the KO. And I know Bivol probably understands he wants to win this time, he's going to probably look for the kill.
Bivol's ability to outmaneuver his opponents has always been his strength, but the question remains whether he can withstand Beterbiev's power in the later rounds. As Gaman Boxing noted, you want the fighters at their best, and this rematch promises to showcase both men in peak form.
You don't have the luxury of time with Beterbiev. You just don't have it. You want these guys to meet when they're still at their best. And Beterbiev isn't even at his best, which makes what he did back in October all the more impressive. Because I think physically he's not. You can't be at 39, I don't think, or 40. You're just not going to be as good as you were at 32, 33. It's just not going to happen. So, they have to make hay while the sun shines with Beterbiev. To do this fight on February 22nd, what would be the main event? That would be the main event. You'd have to do heavyweight, wouldn't you? Oh, Jesus. What would you do as main event? That is epic.
Both fighters have displayed remarkable mental toughness leading up to this bout. Beterbiev joked, "Maybe one day I will become a good boxer," showcasing his humility and focus. Meanwhile, Bivol has remained silent, letting his training and preparation speak for him.
Maybe one day I'll become a good boxer, but not yet.
Frank Warren summed it up best. The two best light heavyweight champions are going against each other. This fight isn't just about titles, it's about legacy. For Beterbiev, it's a chance to solidify his dominance, while for Bivol, it's an opportunity to prove he's the rightful king of the division.
Well, it's a great fight. The best two light heavyweights in the world. Last time round, it was an excellent fight. They displayed all their skills. It's a rematch. That's going to be a great fight.
As fight night approaches, all eyes will be on these two warriors. Can Beterbiev's power overwhelm Bivol once again, or will Bivol's tactical brilliance finally earn him the decisive victory? One thing is certain, this rematch will be one for the ages.
Artur Beterbiev will rematch Dimitri Bivol in the main event of this fight card. The original fight was a fantastic bout. I don't think any fight fan is mad that this fight is happening again. And fans are split on who won. It's probably the second best fight that was meaningful of the year, with Usyk and Fury being the best fight that happened, but is the most entertaining, evenly matched, consequential fight that can happen at light heavyweight. And outside of the heavyweight division, it probably is the best fight to be made. So, fantastic fight.
I think the difference was the last 2 rounds. I think Beterbiev, he stepped on the gas. I mean, Bivol kind of fell back a little bit. I think that's how he ended up losing the fight. You know what I mean? But it was a very close fight.
Nah, I love the fight, bro. I ain't gonna front. Like, when I was watching it, I could have went either way. I kind of had Bivol winning, but you know, Beterbiev was really on him all 12 rounds.
Yeah.
You know, and to be honest, Bivol kind of looked defeated towards the end. Like, he looked like he didn't want to smoke no more. Like, it was just too much pressure. But a part 2, if any adjustments could be made, what you think would those adjustments actually be for Bivol?
I think with a puncher, you can't always run from him. You can't always move. You know what I mean? I'm saying that because sometimes you gotta let a guy know that you a man too. You know what I mean? If you move all night, he gonna get the best of you because you 9 times out of 10 not training like that.
Beterbiev versus Bivol rematch. Come on, that doesn't even need selling. Like, if I need to sell that to you, then you're watching the wrong sport. Like, if I need to really tell you why that fight needed to happen again, then you're watching the wrong sport. But again, like, this being on that card, like, you can remove this from that card. The card's already, oh my god, what a great card. Beterbiev Bivol on the card.
For more updates, analysis, and post-fight coverage, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxy Hub, your go-to source for all things boxing. Let us know in the comments who you think will emerge victorious in this epic rematch.